My dear sisters and brothers, there are moments in life when the heart feels heavy, weighed down by worries, fears, or regrets. Perhaps you feel alone in your struggles, as if the world does not notice your pain, or that your du'a goes unheard. It is easy to forget in these moments that Allah, the most merciful, is always aware. He sees the tears that fall silently, the sighs that escape from a tired soul, and the whispered prayers made in the depth of the night. Every heartbeat, every trembling thought is observed by Him. Dr. Haifaa Younis often reminds us that even when we feel distant from Allah, His presence is closer than we realize. The one who created you knows every fear, every wound, and every longing within your heart. Understanding this truth brings immense comfort and reassurance. Life sometimes overwhelms us with challenges that seem insurmountable. Family struggles, financial stress, emotional pain, or internal doubts can make a person feel isolated. But it is in these very moments that Allah's awareness is most significant. He is not distant. He is intimately familiar with every detail of your life. The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah, and we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him. 235. This verse emphasizes that Allah is fully aware of even the deepest silent thoughts of our hearts. No struggle is too small, no worry too insignificant for Him. When you feel unseen by the world, remember that Allah's vision encompasses all. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that recognizing Allah's constant attention to our lives is a source of healing and emotional relief, helping us feel supported even in loneliness. Sometimes we may try to hide our pain from others, wearing smiles or pretending strength while our hearts silently suffer. We may believe that if no one else sees our struggles, they are meaningless. But Allah sees and hears everything. He understands the sincerity behind each sigh and the hidden tears that no one else witnesses. Sincerity of intention, even when no one else knows, is deeply valued in His sight. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that acknowledging our private struggles before Allah allows healing to begin, as it cultivates humility, trust, and reliance on Him. This awareness encourages us to turn inward, to offer du'a and remembrance, and to place hope in Allah's mercy. The heart that confides in Allah finds peace, and even in apparent weakness, strength is built through His constant attention. It is also important to remember that Allah's awareness does not judge harshly or reject the vulnerable cries of His servants. Instead, He responds with mercy, wisdom, and guidance. Each whisper of the heart, each tear of repentance, and every feeling of helplessness is an opportunity to reconnect with Him. When we are overwhelmed, feeling spiritually or emotionally exhausted, it is this very recognition that Allah sees our struggles that restores hope. Dr. Haifaa Younis often emphasizes that the acknowledgement of Allah's ever-present gaze transforms despair into patience and anxiety into trust. Even the smallest acts of remembrance performed quietly with sincerity are cherished and noticed by Allah. He does not overlook and He does not abandon. Understanding this truth creates a foundation for healing, emotional balance, and spiritual resilience. Finally, knowing that Allah sees and hears every struggle encourages consistency in turning back to Him. Each hardship, no matter how heavy, is a reminder to seek refuge, mercy, and guidance through prayer, dhikr, and reflection on the Quran. Dr. Haifaa Younis explains that our hearts are renewed when we internalize this knowledge, realizing that no pain is wasted and no sincere cry is ignored. Struggles become opportunities for growth, patience, and a deeper connection with Allah. By surrendering our worries and emotions to Him, by speaking honestly to Allah in private moments, and by relying on His infinite knowledge and wisdom, the heart learns to trust and find comfort. The acknowledgement that Allah is always aware transforms our perspective on hardship, teaching that even in silence, we are never truly alone. There is a unique beauty in the final moments of our day, the quiet minutes before sleep or before the dawn of a new day, when the world seems to pause and silence envelops us. It is in these moments that sincerity or ikhlas becomes most meaningful. When no one is watching, when distractions fade, the heart has the opportunity to turn fully to Allah without pretense or outward display. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that these moments are a sacred opportunity to reconnect, to pour out one's soul in du'a, and to offer worship purely for the pleasure of Allah. In this stillness, every whispered prayer, every tear, every soft recitation of Quran carries a weight far greater than any act performed for show. The heart that engages sincerely, even in small acts, finds peace that cannot be replicated elsewhere. Sincerity is not measured by the length of prayer, the perfection of words, or the volume of one's worship, but by the purity of the intention behind it. In the last moments before sleep, when fatigue has settled in and distractions fade, the heart is most capable of turning inward with honesty. Allah values the quiet devotion of a sincere servant more than grandeur or outward appearances. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that even a single heartfelt dua, a soft subhanallah, or a whispered plea for forgiveness is treasured by Allah when it comes from a place of authenticity. These moments, seemingly small or ordinary, can be transformative. They allow the soul to reconnect, to cleanse itself from the burdens of the day, and to submit fully to Allah's presence, cultivating a spiritual intimacy that worldly achievements cannot provide. It is easy to underestimate the importance of sincerity in the final moments. Many rush through their nightly routines or fall asleep without reflection, unaware of the immense spiritual value of those quiet minutes. Yet, Dr. Haifaa Younis reminds us that the heart that dedicates even a brief period to Allah at the end of the day builds a foundation for resilience, patience, and enduring faith. These moments are free from the distractions and judgments of the world, allowing the servant to be wholly present with Allah. The simplicity of a sincere prayer, a tear shed in humility, or a quiet remembrance of His names holds the potential to reshape the heart, to repair spiritual weariness, and to awaken a deep sense of hope that carries into the following day. Sincerity in this last moment is also a reminder of accountability, both to Allah and to oneself. When the day comes to a close, it offers the opportunity to reflect upon one's actions, intentions, and emotional state. Are we forgiving? Are we mindful? Are we seeking Allah's pleasure above our own desires? Dr. Haifaa Younis highlights that acknowledging our shortcomings and turning to Allah in these intimate minutes fosters true spiritual growth. No performance is needed, no audience is required, only an honest heart. In offering worship with pure intention, the servant nurtures patience, humility, and self-awareness. Every act, even if small, becomes a seed of change, a bridge between the day's trials and Allah's mercy, allowing the heart to rest and rejuvenate with the assurance of His love. Finally, embracing sincerity in the last moments nurtures a profound sense of emotional healing. Life often leaves the heart burdened with regrets, worries, and anxieties, but turning to Allah in quiet, authentic devotion creates a sanctuary for the soul. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that these small, intentional acts of worship and reflection become a source of spiritual nourishment, strengthening the connection with Allah and offering comfort during life's trials. The heart learns to rely not on outward displays or recognition, but on the profound understanding that Allah sees every whisper, every tear, every quiet plea made with genuine intent. Through consistent sincerity in these fleeting moments, the soul gradually aligns with divine guidance, cultivating resilience, hope, and inner tranquility that extend beyond the stillness of the night. Life often leaves us carrying the weight of our mistakes, regrets, and moments of weakness. We may feel trapped by the sins of the past or ashamed of choices that no longer reflect our best selves. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, reminds us that repentance is never closed, that renewal is always within reach. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that the heart, no matter how burdened, can always be revived through sincere turning back to Allah. Repentance is more than simply asking for forgiveness. It is an intentional act of the soul, a commitment to let go of what holds us back, and a conscious effort to realign our life with the guidance of Allah. Each sincere du'a, each heartfelt plea for mercy opens a door that was never truly closed, inviting the heart toward hope and healing. Repentance begins with acknowledgement. We must first recognize our shortcomings, the mum, NPS, when we acted contrary to Allah's commands or neglected the guidance He has provided. It requires humility to face our own errors, honestly, without rationalization or denial. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that this step is not a burden, but a liberation. When we allow ourselves to see our faults through the lens of accountability and faith, we create a space for renewal. The Quran emphasizes, "Say, O my servants, who have transgressed against themselves, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins." 39:53. Every person has the potential to return, to cleanse their heart, and to rebuild their relationship with their Creator. Repentance is both an acknowledgement and a turning, a conscious choice to let Allah's mercy reshape our path. Renewal is not simply about leaving the past behind. It is about transforming the present and nurturing a future guided by faith. Dr. Haifaa Younis reminds us that Allah does not tire of forgiving, and the moment we sincerely turn toward Him, His mercy envelops us. It is in this renewal that the heart finds courage to move forward, to embrace the opportunity to be better, and to leave harmful patterns behind. Each day offers a chance to reflect, to correct, and to strengthen our intentions. Even if the past is filled with repeated mistakes, sincere repentance and renewed commitment to Allah's guidance ensure that the soul is never permanently stained. The path of renewal is a process, a journey of small steps taken consistently with sincerity and mindfulness. Sincere repentance also restores emotional and spiritual balance. When the heart is heavy with guilt, despair, can cloud judgment and drain hope. But turning to Allah for forgiveness lightens the burden and brings clarity. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that the act of returning to Allah is not an admission of failure alone. It is a courageous step toward Gar, Auth, dignity, and spiritual resilience. Every heartfelt du'a, every sincere act of worship performed in repentance reawakens trust in Allah's mercy. The Quran reassures us that Allah's forgiveness is greater than any sin, and His love for those who return is immense. Through this process, the heart experiences emotional healing, understanding that mistakes are part of human nature, but sincere efforts toward renewal align the soul with divine guidance. Finally, the continuous practice of repentance and renewal cultivates a hopeful perspective on life. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that no matter how many times we stumble, the door to Allah's mercy remains open. Each act of sincere turning back strengthens the heart, renews our spiritual commitment, and nurtures a profound sense of purpose. It teaches patience, humility, and reliance on Allah, reminding us that true strength is found in acknowledging weakness and seeking guidance. The heart learns that perfection is not the requirement, but sincerity is. With every step toward renewal, the soul becomes lighter, more confident, and more attuned to Allah's presence. Repentance is both a practice and a sanctuary, offering peace amidst struggle and hope amidst despair. True transformation begins within the heart. The changes we seek in our lives, whether in behavior, relationships, or circumstances, cannot endure unless the soul itself is renewed. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that the foundation of lasting change is sincerity and self-reflection. When we look inward, acknowledging our weaknesses, fears, and hidden intentions, we create the fertile ground for spiritual growth. The Quran reminds us, indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. 13:11. This verse emphasizes that outer improvements, no matter how well-intentioned, are temporary if they do not originate from a transformed heart. Each act of inner renewal, whether through du'a, dhikr, or contemplation of the Quran, strengthens our character, aligns our intentions with Allah's guidance, and allows the outward life to reflect the sincerity cultivated within. Often, we focus so much on correcting external behaviors, appearances, or achievements that we forget the root cause lies deeper. Dr. Haifaa Younis reminds us that without inner awareness, efforts to change outwardly can feel hollow or unfulfilling. A person may act righteous outwardly, yet remain spiritually disconnected or emotionally conflicted. True inner change involves examining one's intentions, purifying the heart from envy, arrogance, and hypocrisy, and striving to align thoughts with faith. When this inner alignment is nurtured, actions naturally follow with authenticity, humility, and grace. The heart's transformation is the invisible work that leads to visible results. The smallest internal victories, replacing impatience with patience, fear with trust in Allah, or despair with hope, create ripples in our external lives that manifest in harmony, peace, and consistent, righteous behavior. Inner change also nurtures resilience in the face of trials. Life inevitably brings challenges, mistakes, and emotional struggles. Dr. Haifaa Younis emphasizes that when the heart is grounded, purified, and mindful of Allah's guidance, it can withstand difficulties without losing faith or direction. External circumstances may not immediately shift, but the inner state of a believer becomes the source of stability and clarity. By fostering traits like gratitude, forgiveness, and patience within, a person develops the tools to respond wisely to life's unpredictability. The inner work prepares the soul for sustained growth and prevents the superficial changes that fade under pressure. With consistent reflection, du'a, and self-accountability, the heart becomes the anchor that enables outward actions to be meaningful, authentic, and aligned with divine guidance. Self-awareness and consistent introspection are essential in this process of inner transformation. Dr. Haifaa Younis teaches that regular reflection on one's intentions, behaviors, and spiritual state cultivates mindfulness, humility, and sincere connection with Allah. By asking, why am I doing this? Or does this align with my faith? A believer continuously refines their inner self. The Quran encourages believers to ponder, do they not reflect upon themselves? 38, highlighting that thoughtful introspection is a key part of spiritual growth. This practice ensures that actions are not simply habitual or performative, but rooted in genuine faith and intention. When the heart becomes a place of sincerity, compassion, and trust in Allah, outward behavior follows naturally, creating harmony between the inner life and the external expression of faith, allowing the believer to impact the world authentically and meaningfully. Finally, embracing the principle that inner change precedes outer change allows for lasting spiritual and emotional transformation. Dr. Haifaa Younis explains that when we cultivate patience, sincerity, humility, and devotion internally, these qualities manifest in every interaction, decision, and habit. Outer success, social respect, or worldly achievements become meaningful only when they reflect the purity and guidance of the heart. By committing to personal reflection, worship, and the cultivation of noble traits, the believer ensures that external life mirrors spiritual progress. This alignment nurtures peace, resilience, and confidence, fostering relationships, work, and responsibilities that are infused with integrity and faith. When inner change becomes the priority, outward transformation follows naturally, allowing the soul to shine in a way that is deeply rooted, authentic, and beloved in the sight of Allah.